Hello and good morning. Welcome to Cat's Cottage. I've got some coffee made this morning and I'm going to try it out. Mm, just like I like it. Um, now, yesterday evening, I got out my bunnies out of my cabinet and I've decided I'm going to keep a few, but I'm also going to think I'm going to sell the rest of them. So, because I've, got too many. But I'm going to show y'all my bunnies. See if I can figure this out. You can see I got a basket full. Okay, there. All right, this first one is, turn on that overhead light. You know, it's kind of dark in here. There we go. What you might hear in the background is, well, all kind of things. Trains and chimes. I've got chimes on the balcony that haven't stopped moving. I guess for maybe 2 weeks they haven't stopped moving, and they never move, but they have been moving, and they're moving now. But anyway, I'll start out. This one's pretty cute. This one looks like it's made with this type of a clay. Got a touch of a felt on the bottom. I can't make up my mind if this is homemade or not, but it's real cute, whatever it is. It's maybe made with that, that clay that you shape with your hands. It's not been made in a mold, so it's pressed. Got a little glaze over it. Yeah, a little bit of glue right there. So that could be homemade. You can see where the ears were cut not perfectly here with a knife. Looks like they was cut and then put up here, but good job. Okay, and then I've got a handful of these. Now, I have already put a couple of these in my clock that I'm making, and I may finish it up, put the rest of these in the clock. They don't have anything on them. They're just tiny little bunnies. Okay, now this one, they just kind of passed it up. Now, I put this stuff right in here. This is styrofoam. This is my doing. But this one sat on the shelf a little while because it was cracked, and they thought, well, I don't want a cracked bunny. But this happens to be, and I think it's stamped yeah, on the back. No, it's not stamped, but it's cut in on the back. It's gosh, trying to see it now. I knew what it was before, but anyway, it's the early Walt Disney bunny. Made, I believe I saw it at around the 50s, and this is like handwritten here, right here in the factory. But this is the way the original Bugs Bunny looked. He looked like that. Perfect condition, all except for that broken right there. And that was okay with me. Pretty old. I'm going to keep him. I like him because he's the original Bugs Bunny. So I'm going to hang on to him. Let's see. I just noticed he's got gloves on. Little white gloves on. Okay. I'm going to sit him over here. And then here's a pair. These are just modern. It's not a ceramic. They did put some felt on the bottom, and it's been worn, and it's pretty old. So, but this is that, I'll just call it a plastic. I don't know. It's that hardened plastic. It's not that antique stuff. But these are pretty cute. I'll probably sell these too. Okay, this is the one I really like this. Um, Bunny on the bike. She's got some chicks in the back and eggs and a bunny in the front. It's funny. We put chickens, baby chickens, and bunnies together, especially around Easter. When I was a kid, I had the little wind-up chicks in my Easter basket. Yeah, I think this is cute, and I'm going to keep this one. Why? Because I enjoy looking at it. Now, I could have got so many more, but my shelf that I used just for these, and I was limiting myself to one shelf in my cabinet there, my display cabinet. So I didn't get any more of them. Of course, if they'd been really special, I would have. Now, here's a ceramic basket. It's I don't know where it came from. I guess I need to get all that paper off of there so I can tell where it was made. But it's got all these pretty Mod Podge eggs in it. Yeah, it's just full of them. Real pretty. Let's see, I've got 3 smaller and 2 larger. I didn't buy these all at the same time. I just bought them a little at a time with the basket. Was later. Found the basket later. You don't know when this stuff will come out in a thrift shop. It could, come out at any time. I kind of like that. I'll probably try to keep that. And this one here is homemade. And I put this on here because it's real rough on the bottom, real sharp and rough. Like it might scratch glass or nice wood table. But this is hand done. Somebody made this. Pretty cool looking. Got a little purple here and there. Yeah, I'll probably sell that one. Then here's a big egg. And of course it's not old, but yeah, a big Easter egg. And I'll probably sell that. And here's a mama and her little bunnies. She's trying to keep them under control. I tried to fit this in my clock, and it was just a little too thick right there. So that'll probably be sold too. That would be cool in a flower pot, sitting in a flower pot, maybe in the house or somewhere. But that's Mama trying to keep her little babies in line. And this one here, I really like this one. It's got a number on it too, and a tag, sticker on the bottom. Andrea, by Sadets or something, Japan. And it doesn't have anything wrong with it. There's no cracks, chips, bumps. It's got a lot of detail for a small little rabbit. So I like this one, and I'll be keeping this one. Okay, this is the, got a little felt on it. This is the typical, what you find at the store or the card shop or whatever. And a little bit wide right here, so I couldn't get it in my clock. I wanted this one, with all those carrots. Um, but yeah, I'll probably sell this one too. Got another egg down in here. Not sure what. Okay, here I got another basket in here. And here's another little bunny. I'll put him there with the others. Ain't nothing wrong with collecting little bunnies. Keeping little bunnies. Okay, this is another basket. Doesn't have anything on it. It's got eggs in it. Oh, I just would have died for these eggs when I was a girl. Oh boy. I would have. Me and my sisters, we took turns picking things, your turn, your turn, your turn, out of the big basket when we filled our baskets up. Boy, I would have definitely picked these. Yeah, these are special. Yep, these are special. There's the chick again. Yeah, these are really, put these eggs back in here. Yeah, that's a cute little basket. Probably sell it. Without the eggs. Okay, well, I'm gonna put these back in here so I can carry them back. And the ones I said I was going to sell, I'm probably going to take to my garage and store them up. Sell them in my carport sale, I reckon. Can't get nothing. I don't think you can get what you got that you paid for them at the thrift store. I don't think you can get that amount of money. Yep. Just keep those little ones over there. And Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. And a little bicycle. Okay. Let's see where I can move this. I'll move it to the other side of the table. There we go. Now I do have a couple more rabbits somewhere. I know I do. Probably in the bedroom somewhere, but I think I might have some stuffed bunnies in a bag with my pillow collection. I keep my pillows in plastic bags and change them out occasionally. I think I might have some rabbits in a bag. I don't know. Most likely I probably do. One, cleaned out the attic of a old house I had bought, and ended up selling it to my daughter. That was her first little house, and it had a huge rabbit in it, huge as a person, as a dog, huge gigantic rabbit. They had all their Easter stuff up there, but they didn't cover it or anything. They had that rock wall and all that up there, but it was gigantic. Like something you'd get at the fairgrounds playing a game. Spend all your money and play the game. But, okay. That's beautiful there. It's a beautiful walk, isn't it? Or you could jump on your bicycle and, ride down and back, and a quick adventure on the bike. But you see so much more when you're on the ground. And that's what I missed when I stopped running, was what I saw on the ground. And I didn't realize I'd ever missed that. But I knew every inch of the ground when I ran, what was on the ground. Um, Now, I took up some biking, and it wasn't quite the same, but and then, so I decided to take up hiking, and I did that for a while. I had to do something because I was gaining so much weight, and but I took up the hiking. Uh, I guess I was the big woman out there hiking, but my hiking was, I ventured off into places where nobody was going. Uh, um, I guess I'm the kind of person that get lost somewhere or get injured somewhere and nobody ever find me. But no, I did some hiking for a while, that too. And then things did get kind of dangerous, places I was hiking and stuff. So I um, started walking. I still wore my hiking stuff, and I went in safe places and wore all my hiking backpack and boots and my sticks and the whole thing. And people, I think they might have laughed at me, but I didn't care. And I did that for a while. And I actually did the um, couple of big trails. And I got I used put them in got a logbook, and I I went in great detail. That's the way I always do. I don't do just something small. Uh, I go into great detail with things, and I started checking the weather of where I was at, where I was walking, the area. I went as far as contacting people on the trails and talking to them, and contacting the lodges and things like that. Finding out, you know, I found out on the internet how much it cost a night to stay in a lodge. I mean, I did it all, but I was here. And um, I did the Appalachian Trail that way. Now, some of the Appalachian Trail I did that was close to me, but it was actually dangerous. Um, I don't know if I told y'all about it. Sometime I'll tell y'all about things, and then the film don't work, and so I delete the film, and then I can't remember what I told you, you know. But me and my husband were hiking there in Alabama, part of that Appalachian Trail in those upper Tennessee, Alabama, with bears and mooses and all that kind of thing. Really just beautiful, beautiful. It was so pretty, and you could look down on the ground, and there would be different colored mosses. And I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know that existed. And I'm walking. How do these mosses? It was like corals. Like, how do these mosses become different colors that I'm walking on? I mean, just clump here of reddish, pale green, bluish. I mean, I'm like, this is just completely beautiful. But anyway, what happened that was so dangerous at that time was we were walking on the trail and we were going to make a loop and come back. Our car was at a parking lot. And there was a young couple sitting there, teenagers. They weren't a couple. They were two probably into mischief, a girl and a guy. And they were laughing and talking and sitting on the side of the cliff there. And, we waved at them, smiled at them. And there was this pole with these signs on it, hammered on with the arrow on one end of each sign, telling you which way to go. And some of them, the trails, were for night cabins. And if you got stuck out there, you would go in that night cabin. And the other ones didn't. It had the distance on it. So, like, we're just going to do this loop, come back to our car. It would have been a couple of hours. So I had a funny feeling about those two sitting there laughing and talking. And anyway, we went the way we wanted to go. And we passed a few hikers, and, they were coming back and stuff like that, and big families coming back from their hiking. And so we came up to this sign, and it had the arrow way to go. And so we took the one we wanted to take. And I had noticed that the pole was loose, and I thought that was just, time had loosened it. So we went on, and things didn't look good. And we came back around, and things got real dangerous. It got so bad I had to get down and crawl over these gigantic rocks. These rocks were as big as this room, and then you had to drop down and you had to get back over the next one. That's how bad it was. And I didn't really know what the heck. How am I going to get back to that car? And I think even my husband began to get nervous. And so he told me, he said, he said, I think if those two pulled up that pole and switched those directions of those labels. So, and I told him, I said, I think you're right. And I think it's just going to get worse. These rocks are just going to get worse, and everything's going to get worse, and we're going to fall over the cliff. I mean, it was just straight down. If you were on that rock, it was just straight down. And they weren't flat surface. You had to crawl, and they were, it was super dangerous. So I told him, I said, let's turn around. Let's turn around and go back. So we did. We went back. Needless to say, they were gone. In other words, we spent about an hour there, lost. We got back to the spot that we came into. And of course, I found the jeweled moss again. And so we went around that way, back to the car. But that really disturbed me so bad to get lost like that. And those two little brats, after we went that way, they ran. They got out of there so they wouldn't get, they're lost in the woods. Um, that was super mean. And it's probably not the first time they did it. A lot of people that are tourists and go to places like that, they're not used to that environment. They're not used to climbing hills, and especially when you get older. I was in my 60s. Um, you're not used to all that climbing like that. That's something you don't do. I mean, I was used to walking. That's why I went there. I was used to walking, and I'm not talking just on paved trails. I walked other trails, and other. But I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to rocks. Huge, gigantic. Well, they passed rocks. They were boulders. But anyway, I don't know how I got to telling y'all that, but um, that was a bad experience I had walking. But I did a lot of walking, and I documented it, and I got a full log about it. And when evening came, and after I did my steps that I was going to do for the day, I probably would do about 30. Um, I looked it up to see what the average person could do on the Appalachian Trail a day. And it was about, once you got in shape, broke yourself in, it was about 20, 20 miles, 20, 25 miles a day, 30 maybe. Um, After I'd get through walking, I'd come back to the house, and I had a bike, and I biked it some, but I did most of it after I got through, and I'd come home, I'd take a break, and I got on a stationary bike, and I did a lot of my distance on that stationary bike and logged it. And I remember when I was right there at the last of that Appalachian Trail, I wanted to go so bad, but I couldn't. And right there at the last, I'd come to the end, to that last mountain you go up. And it was really dangerous. It had a ridge, and you were supposed to walk on that ridge and get up to that top up there. And then there was an easy way down on the other side, and you could, go down and have someone pick you up or whatever, get a ride or something. But in my mind, I was going to go up and up if I had to, and then I'd come back down. But when I got to the mountain, now this is all made believe. When I made it to the mountain, um, the weather, I looked up the weather first. I said, if I was standing there and I said, let me go up this mountain, I'd find out about this mountain where I'd go. And it talked about how fog would move in and you can't see your hand in front of your face. And it's so dangerous that people do fall. Some people die. So I thought, okay, I'm going to camp at the base of the mountain. Now, let me tell you how far I went. I had a tent. I had a bed. I had a bed, one of those loungers down here, and that was my tent. That's what I used for a tent. No kidding. And I tell you, I go to the extreme when I do things, and inherited that honestly from my daddy. So anyway, I checked the weather and everything, and I thought, well, nah, that's dangerous. I'm gonna sleep down here in my tent at the bottom tonight. And I started eating that way. I started eating, and when I needed a salad or some vegetables or a hot meal, some hot meat, I would hitchhike into town. And no lying, I'd find out the closest town, and either I would stay the night in the town, or I'd find something to eat, or I'd move on. Um, so what I did, I said, well, I'm gonna stay in this tent, and I got food. I'm gonna eat. Well, um, the next day, and I thought, okay, it's pretty, it's clear. I'm gonna go up the mountain, and so I did my exercise. I'd go walking or hiking around here. Y'all excuse me, my frog's getting in my throat. And then I'll come back and I'll bike. Um, Sometimes I'd walk twice a day. One a good walk and the next be a short, and then I'd bike. So I was really into it. I was going to finish that. And anyway, I done forgot what I was going to tell y'all. Oh, the big deal of the story, the finish of the story. Uh, so I opened got online looking and seeing what was going on with the mountain. Come to find out, this reporter and his nephew, I'd say he was maybe in his 50s, 60s. He was a reporter of a pretty popular newspaper in Boston. And his nephew was with him. His nephew went with him, and he, of course, a young man. And he was kind of hard-headed. He didn't want to stay at the bottom. He didn't want to get in his tent. He said, "No, we're gonna get up this mountain, and we're gonna get down, and we'll call and get a ride back to our car, whatever." He took a chance. He wanted to hurry up and get it over with, and he took a chance, and he fell, and he died up there, and he almost killed his nephew. His nephew kind of fell with him, but caught himself on the side of the mountain, and it gets really cold up there. Anyway, he had called for help, and they said, "No, we can't come up. We can't come up because we won't be able to see either." And they had to wait as soon as they could get in there through that thick fog. And anyway, the reporter died, and the young man made it out, but they had to take him to the hospital. But I thought, I wasn't even doing it. I wasn't even there. But I looked up the weather, and they gave real strong warnings about how you can't see an inch in front of your face. And I thought, that's crazy. He had to have, surely he looked at the weather. But they say that it's there, it looks pretty, and then it comes in real quick. But anyway, talk about my story, my walking, my virtual trip of the Appalachian Trail really, really became alive for me. I mean, I feel like I really did it. Uh, I saw everything there, and I talked to all kind of people and saw what they were eating, and that's what I would eat, and saw what they did, and that's what I did. And this all started when a fellow runner took the Appalachian Trail, and he didn't get to finish it. He dislocated his shoulder. So, but anyway, I was extremely cautious because I know I had read where this lady had lost her way, was even eating toothpaste, they said, to try to survive. And her skeleton was found in her little tent later, and she wasn't very far from the trail at all, but she couldn't see it. Now, I've gotten lost in the woods. Up in East Tennessee, I'd go up there. Me and my husband got lost one other time, and everything is so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Takes your breath away. But when you get lost, everything is ugly. Everything about it is ugly, and you don't want to have nothing to do with it. The time me and my husband got lost, we finally found a ranger's lodge, and we got direction from there. Um, but the whole time I kept trying to keep my cool, trying to keep calm, because I knew we were lost bad. And my husband he didn't have an idea. We were so turned around. And, but, I was just like telling my friend asked me, how was your walk? And how'd you enjoy that? And I'm like, you know what? It was beautiful until I got lost. And it was so ugly. I didn't want to be there. Nothing was attractive. But I'll never forget that. And I told my husband, I said, let's don't get lost anymore. Let's don't do this anymore. You know, let's don't do this. Let's don't park the car and get out of it and go get lost anymore. But and we didn't. We didn't do that anymore. I guess he didn't like it either. Of course, he's the one that actually helped me find the lodge. The direction of where the ranger was living. So, but anyway, that's a little bit of my walking life there. Never lost that whole. It took me 3 months to go through the Appalachian Trail. I think it was 3.5. Um, it don't take you that a year. It doesn't do that. Maybe 4 to 5 months would be really slow if you were really just hanging out everywhere. And you don't lose a lot of weight. You lose. I read that they average of maybe 15 pounds, but then you put it right back on when you stop, because your body is desperate for some the food that you didn't have. So it wasn't very good for exercise. I mean, exercise is good for the fact it's not good for losing weight. And I'll just say that because I was a runner, a biker, and a hiker. So, and I swam. I did all those things. And exercise will not it's not for weight loss. It's for um, your joints and your feeling. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel youthful. You're able to bend and stretch and move the way you want to move when you exercise, but don't count on that for losing weight. And I'm just telling you this so you don't get disappointed. Like, well, I've been exercising this for a year and I hadn't lost anything. That's not the way to lose the weight. That's not how you're going to lose it. All you're going to do is feel good about yourself. And those kind of go together a little bit. I'm out here to lose some weight, whatever. And so your mind gets to set about eating different and all that. So it helps you out. The exercise helps you out if you're on a goal to lose weight. But losing the weight is right here, what you put in your mouth and how much of it. And it ain't exactly what you eat. It's how much you eat. How much you eat and how often, if you're a grazer, a nibbler, whatever. You say, well, Kathleen, you're sitting there all fat. You can't. It's because I don't care. That's why I'm like I am. I don't care. But to you that care, um, the exercise, so don't be disappointed. I'm going to quit going over there and do those exercises because I am not losing weight. You're just going over there for your well-being. You're going over there where you are able to stretch and move and you're not all stiff. But as far as losing weight, it's what you put in your mouth and how much. You could I've seen people try to lose weight on a big old bowl of salad every day, every day. They never lose weight. It's how much of it you're eating. You can eat fatty meat, fatty cheeses, but it's how much you're eating. You can have an ice cream, how much you're eating of it. That's just my opinion. From being slim to fat, that's how, for me, anyway, that's my advice. But anyway, I guess I better get off of here. I've jabbered 40 minutes today. Y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm trying to think of any questions somebody might have asked me. I don't know. Uh, hmm, I don't know. Uh, I don't have much going on except I'm going to finish that clock. I know that. I want to get that done. And I'll show that to y'all and show you my final finish. Put it on the wall and don't touch it. As a matter of fact, I might even take it out in the garage and put it in the garage so I won't touch it. So I won't add anything else to it. I don't know what I'll do with it. You know, so might even sell it. I don't know. But anyway, y'all have a good day and enjoy yourself. Bye bye.